Have you ever really stopped to think about it? That little plastic wand you point at your TV to magically make things happen across the room. We take this power of invisible command totally for granted. But you know what? It's the end result of this incredible, century-long fight against, well, having to get off the couch. So let's dig into how we got here.
I mean, think about it. Not that long ago, if you wanted to change the channel or crank up the volume, you had to physically get up, walk over to the set, and mess with the dials. The machine called the shots. It had all the power, and you were the one who had to do all the work.
And that is the big question for us today. We're going to trace the amazing story of how we completely flipped that power dynamic, how we wrestled control away from the machine and put it right in the palm of our hand. And it's all thanks to the quiet revolution of the remote control. Okay, so our story kicks off not with a TV, but with a way bigger idea. Long before most people even had a television, one brilliant inventor was already dreaming of commanding machines right through the air.
That's right, Nikola Tesla. Picture this, it's 1898, Madison Square Garden. He shows off this boat that he's controlling with radio waves. No wires, no strings. He was sending these invisible signals through the air to steer it, to move it forward and back. He proved right then and there that you could command a machine from a distance. The seed was planted.
But what's really wild is how long it took for that seed to grow. More than 50 years went by before we got the first TV remote, the Lazy Bones. And honestly, it was clumsy. It was literally a remote on a leash. This thick, ugly cable that snaked across the living room floor. You were always tripping over the thing. The dream was wireless, but the reality was a tangled, frustrating mess.
So, that annoying trip hazard of a wire, it kicked off the first great technological war in remote control history, the race to find a clean, reliable, and totally invisible signal that could finally cut the cord for good.
And the first company to really crack it was Zenith, with their awesome-sounding Space Command Remote. It was this super clever, purely mechanical gadget that, get this, didn't even need batteries. Its secret weapon? Ultrasonic sound. Frequencies way too high for our ears to pick up.
Now, the way this thing worked was just beautiful. When you clicked a button, a little hammer inside would strike a small aluminum rod, kind of like hitting a tiny tuning fork. That rod would ring out with a specific high-frequency pitch. It was basically a dog whistle for your TV. One note meant channel up, a different note meant volume down. Pretty elegant, right?
Well, yeah, but it had one fatal flaw. The microphone on the TV wasn't exactly a genius. It couldn't tell the difference between the remote's special whistle and any other high-frequency sound in the room. So your dog starts barking, you jingle your keys, heck, even clinking glasses together could suddenly change the channel right in the middle of your favorite show. It was a total pain. The solution wasn't sound, it had to be light.
And this brings us to the undisputed hero of our story, infrared light. It's a type of light that's totally invisible to us, but it's perfect for sending signals. It's cheap, it's reliable, and it can carry way more complex information than just a simple high-pitched noise.
This was a quantum leap forward. An IR remote doesn't just make a noise, it sends a complex coded message. When you press a button, it turns that command into a unique pattern of ones and zeros, and then blinks in little LED light really fast, like a secret message in Morse code. The sensor on the TV sees that code and knows exactly what you want it to do. It's the difference between a whistle and a whole secret language.
So yeah, infrared won the war. It wasn't even close. It was way more reliable, it could handle all the new commands for VCRs and stereos, and it wasn't going to get confused by your dog. For decades, IR was the king.
But, you know, every hero has a weakness, an Achilles heel. Infrared solved the noise problem, but it introduced a brand new one. Its beam of light had to have a clear, straight shot to the TV.
Exactly. We've all been there, right? Waving the remote around trying to find that sweet spot. The cat walks in front of the sensor, somebody leaves a glass on the coffee table, and nothing. The command just vanishes into thin air. That line of sight requirement was the next big problem that needed a fix.
And in this beautiful, full-circle moment for technology, the answer turned out to be the exact same idea that started this whole journey: radio waves. Radio frequency, or RF remotes, don't care about line of sight. Their signals go right through walls, furniture, you name it. But here's where things got really interesting. RF didn't just solve the line of sight problem, it unlocked something brand new: a two-way conversation. For the very first time, your remote could talk to the device, and the device could talk back. The remote sends the command, and the TV can send a little message back saying, "Got it," or "Hey, your battery's about to die." This was a huge deal. Which brings us to today. The remote control in your hand has evolved from a simple clicker into a seriously sophisticated, connected computer.
I mean, just look at this breakdown. It says it all. The actual physical buttons that started this whole thing, they're now just a tiny slice of the pie. Most of the real estate inside is taken up by Wi-Fi radios, microphones for your voice, and even motion sensors.
And here's the big mindset shift. When you press that microphone button and say, "Find me some good sci-fi movies," the remote itself isn't doing the thinking. Nope, it's just a messenger. It captures your voice, zips it over the internet to some super powerful AI in the cloud, and that AI does all the heavy lifting. The remote is now just a gateway.
So as we wrap up, it's kind of cool to step back and realize what a huge impact this little device has had on us. It wasn't just about convenience, it completely rewired our expectations. It taught us that our technology should listen to us and it should respond instantly.
And that's the real legacy, isn't it? The remote control represents this fundamental shift in power, away from the machine and back to us, the user. It put us firmly in charge, making technology serve our whim, not the other way around. But after this whole amazing journey, from wires to sound to light to radio, a final, pretty great irony starts to emerge. The very technology that started its life as a button in a box is now evolving to get rid of the buttons completely. As that control melts into our phones, our hand gestures, and especially our voice, we're reaching the logical endpoint. The ultimate form of invisible command might just be having no remote at all, which really makes you wonder, what's next?